Here. How we doing? Happy Thursday. Don't you fall. Happy Thursday, February 11th, 2021. We are live. Man, happy almost end of the weekend. It is getting cold out here. There was a 100-car pileup in DFW earlier, man. It's wild. Some of the videos that are coming out. So some of you cats that are in cooler climate states and you're used to frozen streets and snow and all that, just snow down here. They don't know what they're doing. People are dying and driving and crashing, and it's ugly. Anyway, stay inside. If you can stay inside today, be safe no matter where you're at. It's not like it could be cold everywhere. Hey, last night was weird. The Indiana Pacers. Oh, why'd you do me like that? Giannis Antetokounmpo, your beast of the night, 70.75 DKP. Zach LaVine, Luka Doncic, Trae Young. We talked about running Luka at Trae Young on yesterday's stream. It cost you a pretty penny, but 120 fantasy points in return. Kawhi was a tier 1. No ifs, ands, or buts without Paul George. Had to play that. Horford and the Thunder, for the third game in a row, the Lakers are like double-digit favorites and end up taking a scrub squad to overtime. But that game got a little bit more fishy. I'll bring up that in just a moment. Norman Powell, OG Anunoby was questionable, ended up getting ruled out, and Powell had another big game out of the small forward spot for them. And then past that, it was a little bit of what you expect. Kobe White and Zach LaVine both did something that was never done before in NBA history. I believe it was they both hit 7 threes or more. They hit 8. Kobe was 8 for 17 and LaVine was 9 for 14. So combined, they shot over 30 3-point attempts and made 9 and 8 respectively. So that was one of the rare times you could put Kobe and Zach LaVine together and really get ceiling. I mean, they combined for 76 real points. Unreal game out of them. Let's talk about that last game for a minute. The Lakers and OKC. First of all, I when it comes to playing NBA DFS, I tell you guys, don't play if you can't keep up with the news. And sometimes you can't just rely on the main news source because sometimes it slips through them. Yesterday in the RunDFS.com Discord, I was chilling at my desk. I was playing Fortnite with my old lady streaming on Twitch, and I was keeping my eye on Twitter, keeping my eye on the news. And at this point in the night, the Indiana Pacers had already done what they were going to do to me, right? I had so much Malcolm Brogdon. I had so much Domantas Sabonis. And it definitely seemed like I was going to take an L on the main slate. But then I looked over. I was looking at Twitter, and a beat writer reported that Isaiah Roby was a game-time decision, and then the coach said he has to make it through warm-ups to see how that toe is feeling. And I was like, man, no one even had Roby on like an injury list this morning. So I tagged everyone, giving everyone a heads up. And then I kept watching it. Another beat writer said that during shoot around there was no Roby. So at that point, my juices were flowing. I was like, man, Isaiah Roby is probably going to be the highest owned value play on the slate. On the main slate and on this afternoon slate and even single game slate, it's probably going to be even more owned. So I put out another everyone tagged. I said lots of minutes from Muscala. This could be a great edge for the late slate, because I don't think he was on the injury report. He'd probably be one of the highest value plays on DraftKings. That's exactly what happened. So on a night where the early slate was, or the main slate was getting to me, I was able to swap out all the Roby and even take advantage of it on the main slate because the common news sources that people use for DFS were not privy to the information. So I say it, man. It ain't got to be mine, but be part of a really tight-knit community that will have your back when you're trying to chill and let you know that someone could be out, because that's really what made yesterday a dub. Past that, the Pacers, man, ended up losing by 10, but that was a game that was like really never a game. Brogdon, 32 fantasy points, 35 minutes. The minutes were still played. I can't really say they got blown out. They didn't play minutes. They played minutes. They didn't produce. And because of that, that made my main slate a little bit lackluster. But because of the Roby information, I was able to get there. And because of the Roby stuff, I do think that did help Kenrich Williams, who ended up being the value play on the late slate, 4,700, almost dropped 40. But Ham Diallo, Al Horford, I mean, this was an extremely small minutes rotation, or I think it was an 8-man rotation, and a very consolidated team to target. And on the late slate, on the main slate, if you went heavy with the Thunder, and then you got overtime, it was a great night for you, especially Horford dropping 50 plus fantasy points. So that was your slate last night. Let's begin to discuss tonight. We will bring Raj here in just a second. Let me get caught up on chat, the shout outs. What up, Tall? What up, Quan? Been snapping. Quan, was that the only one who stepped on the Roby landmine? No, he was like 40%. With Roby scratched in my lineup at 375. Oh no, that's tough. What up, Crispy? What's up? Please tell OKC to let us know if Roby can't go earlier. I get it. No, it sucked. But like I said, there was some news out there, man, and it just wasn't picked up by the common news sources. Let me get Raj in here, drag him down into the stream chat. Here.
Yo.
What it do, Paul Wall?
Another day. Late lock today. Hopefully better than didn't adjust to the late news yesterday. Pacers guys or whatever. So on to today.
Yeah. Pacers guys are whatever. That's the great thing about DFS. We got another day. We're gonna try and keep this one swift. The airwaves are about to get thick, but at 3 p.m. Eastern, Fantasy Labs tweeted key news to watch. John Wall probable, OG Anunoby is questionable, Cole Anthony questionable, Evan Fournier questionable, and Shake Milton doubtful. And as always, chat, if something drops while we are freestyling, drop it in chat. What up, great filibuster, Chronic, K Johnson, Lenny? What's up, Lenny? Where you been? Hope y'all been all right, man. Everyone that talks about DFS ever is live right now. So if you guys are here, you guys are the real ones. So appreciate you guys for hanging out in our little community here. And show love, man. Hit that thumbs up. And if you're on Twitter, retweet my tweet. Let's represent. Let's have some sharp takes and some sharp plays to take away. Game number 1 tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central, so 30 minutes later than usual. Lock time projects starting 5 for the Raptors. Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Aaron Baines taking on Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Grant Williams, and Tristan Thompson. Anunoby has missed a slew of games, so I'm going to try and get the update on him. I think I said yesterday they were expecting him to play 1, so let me see if that's still the plan for Anunoby. He has a left calf strain. He has been sidelined since late January, and at that point, he'd been playing the best basketball of his career to date. If he's cleared to return Thursday night, that would slide Norman Powell back to the second unit, so that doesn't really clear anything up. So watch out for Anunoby news. If he does play, the Anunoby style of play is different than Norman Powell. Norman Powell's going to be way more offensive, and Anunoby's not. So if Anunoby is in the lineup and does start, I think you get a little bit more offense out of everyone else on the court. Not that Anunoby's not going to shoot, but I do think Norman Powell's style of play is a little bit different. So kind of keep that in mind. Overall, it's a 220.5 total. The Celtics, Raptors, really just two grindy type of defenses. But they do tend to have some scrap fest that I think every time they play, we're like, nah, I don't want to touch this game. And then we look back at the end of the night, there's some solid plays. So looking at these price points, nothing really stands out to me. I think the minutes on Lowry Lowry and Van Vliet will give them a chip in a chair any given day. But it's not anything I could say that they're underpriced. And I look on the Celtics side, FanDuel has Kemba at 5.5K. You want to believe that 30-plus fantasy points is definitely in the wheelhouse at that price. So, yeah, maybe because he's the cheapest, I'll take a shot on that. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, I think you spin the wheel on those two. They can give you 40-plus. They can give you 50-plus. They can also give you mid-30s. Anyone in this game in particular, Raj, that's kind of like poking at you that you feel like you should have maybe some contrarian exposure to, because I do think some chalk will show its head here in a bit.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone seems to price appropriately. I think Kyle Lowry 7-3 on FanDuel has some meat on the bone there, so don't hate that. Jaylen Brown for Boston, is kind of their leading guy right now, leading scorer, get you a ton of points. Probably needs 30-plus real-life points to get there. With Kemba Walker not playing well, he's taking on a bit more of a scoring load. So I'll probably have some of him. Kemba's cheap. Again, hasn't been playing well. He's playing 30 minutes, though, 5-5. The upside's there. He's going to get his shot right eventually. So in a short slate, probably going to take a chance on him. Other than that, Toronto's
I think the elephant in the room is Chris Boucher. Like, this guy's he's trending up on ownership day after day. His minutes have been rock solid for a week straight now. He's still 6K on DraftKings, and I know the matchup maybe isn't the most alluring, but if I'm getting 25-plus minutes of the style of basketball that Chris Boucher plays and his fantasy efficiency per minute, 6K might still be way too cheap on DraftKings to not have some stock and stuff for exposure to Boucher. I know like his upside peripherals may not be extracted in this matchup particularly, but the field will probably be 20-30% mid on him, right?
Yeah, I think this is a spot where I'm probably going to fade him. Coming off of matchups against Brooklyn, Atlanta, Memphis, Washington. I mean, those are probably 4 of the 5 or 6 best matchups in the league. So he's had a good run of matchups. This is Boston. I get it. They're still upside that price. I think at his ownership, I might just fade Boucher though.
David says Boucher got 7 minutes first half, got a blowout run. Let me pull that up here. I would also say, if I said it yesterday, if Anunoby is in, I feel like that could domino effect minutes all the way around. Anunoby or Boucher got 3, and then he, I guess he shared the court. Well, I mean, he shared the court with starters in the fourth, so I still think it's fair to say that the minutes would be there for him. But 20-25, right? I'm not expecting 30 minutes consistently. Like I said, this matchup maybe particularly doesn't bring out the best in Boucher in terms of what he can do, like blocks and stuff like that, but he was scoring yesterday. So I'd have some. I think if Anunoby's in, I would feel less warm and fuzzy about it, but I do think 6K or less for Boucher can break a slate at any moment's notice. Norman Powell 6,800 on FanDuel says Louis. Yes, and I mean he's gotten there for a reason. Dropped 40+ last night. If Anunoby is in today, I would have to walk backwards on that, expecting a lot less minutes. I mean, it could be 6 to 15 minutes less if Anunoby's in the mix. I don't know if Anunoby would be straight up 30 minutes on day one, right? But I would probably walk backwards at that high price on Powell because it's already a tougher matchup. Dave said he got pulled at 2 minutes left. Yeah, but so did Fred VanVleet and Siakam. Like, he was on the court with starters. It wasn't like garbage. Like Norman Powell, Siakam, VanVleet, Lowry was on the court with him there at the end. So I maybe it benefited because of the blowout, but I don't think he was particularly out there just because of the blowout because he was sharing on the court with the starters, and that's what we've seen from him in the last couple games. Really, the last four games or so. The minutes have been there. All right, let's move on to the next game here. Houston Rockets hosting the Miami Heat. Project starting 5 for the Heat: Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy G buckets. And if you didn't know, Roz, that G stands for gonna get you 40+ no matter what. Man, he has been balling. Kelly Olynyk, Bam Adebayo taking on John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Jayshawn Tate, PJ Tucker and DeMarcus Boogie Cousins. We got a 215 total, 2.5 point spread in favor of the visiting Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler has just been super rock solid. I said it last slate that just because of how high his floor has been, I want to play him. And then he ended up being one of the most elite plays on the slate, dropping that 56 fantasy point game against the Knicks. Slow pace, low total matchup. And the competition was steep in terms of alternatives at his price point. But man, ever since coming back from that injury on January 30th, it's been he hasn't got you less than 44.5. So if you're gonna take a floor like that, and it's still cute that he got 44.5 exactly 3 games in a row, his price is not moving. Right? Look at literally since February 1st, his highest price is 8,400, and he's just been bouncing between 84, 83, and he's been so solid. So I definitely think he's in the pool no matter what. Probably in the tier 2 range. And we'll move the needle.
He's been in an elite matchup run too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not walking back on the Rockets, but the Rockets' defensive efficiency, when they're full, like when they have Wall, Depot, Boogie, has been high. So at that same time, Jimmy Butler's not really just a matchup guy for me. I think you could almost argue the tougher matchup, the better Jimmy does, just because of what he does for his team. On the Rockets side, Wall, Oladipo are iffy, right? 7 to 8K, I need that 40 plus, and we haven't seen a whole lot of games lately when they're both in. But keep an eye on John Wall because he does have a Q tag, and we have seen them stagger Depot and Wall in certain spots lately. And then DeMarcus Cousins, 6K on FanDuel. It's happening. He was 6K the last 2 slates on FanDuel and did not get there. I don't know what I just tried to type. I started typing Boogie, and then I went Cousins, and it just said Buzzins, and I was like, what? The last 2 games for the Rockets were blowouts, and he didn't touch the court after his run in the third quarter. So no fourth quarter run against the Pelicans, against the Hornets, and he was still just about a point per minute. Bam Adebayo is certainly not my favorite matchup. I actually do run from him. But at 6K, Boogie's still Boogie. And just the game theory guy in me has the field down on Boogie. I've seen plenty of people say, Boogie's not the same. He's lost a step, blah, blah, blah. Maybe, but he's still a point per minute, and we've seen him break slates this year. So I don't know that I want to be out on Boogie at 6K on FanDuel. I'd probably put him in the tier 3 pool because I'm going to have a ton of Embiid and guys like that. But I like if Boogie's going to be sub 20% in ownership, I probably still want to take a chip and a chair exposure on that because if you put in context to his last 2 duds, it was just blowouts, and he didn't play in the fourth quarter. So I'm willing to kind of gamble on that. Depot, Wall, do you have a feeling here? Let me pull up the Rockets injury report on Depot, on Wall. Wall's probable, so we should get Wall and Depot and Boogie. And if I pull up this team metrics chart, a lot of people haven't really absorbed this yet. The Houston Rockets have the second best defensive efficiency in basketball. How do you feel about that? This is weird.
I'd say John Wall has always been a pretty good defender. He gets some steals. Oladipo, elite defender. Boogie, not so much. But I mean, with guys like PJ Tucker in there, Daniel House, I get it. No James Harden, and I think their pace has slowed down. That's probably kind of helped their defense. So, it's not shocking. So this game definitely not going to be a run up and down. I think high scoring game. Give me Jimmy Butler. Like I said, he's been consistent. I mean, this is his toughest matchup in a while. Like you said, he's probably matchup proof. So at 8-7, he should be a safe 40, 50 bomb. Give me some of that. I don't know if John Wall or Oladipo won't be a core piece for me. If I get to one, if they fit, sure. Not running to it. Boogie 6K. It's a dangerously low price coming off of a couple of duds where he's been pretty chalk. And it just screams DFS to go off against Bam Adebayo here. So I probably have some Boogie. That price tag just seems too cheap for a guy that should play 30 minutes in the past couple of games hasn't because of blowouts. Last game
because of blowouts, and then you could argue that maybe he should be doing a little bit more. But I like the Rockets a little bit more full strength. I do think overall this game should trend downward in pace and in scoring. Both teams are going to be solid defensively, I believe. Even though the Heat defensive rating on the season sample size isn't great. I do think we can, put a lot of guys been out, and it's just been a weird start from them, especially as one of the teams that had the shortest offseason. So I think this game isn't like stellar overall, but 6K price point on Boogie, I'm gonna have to have some, even though I very much hate the matchup. Let's get caught up on live chat. So, Raj, you ever have like a dry lip and you just feel like there's like a piece of skin on your lip and you just play with it?
Yep.
That's what I have. And then, like when I'm done talking and I throw it to you, I've just been like biting on it and I look over. It must look like I have like meth mouth. Like there's probably somebody out there. This guy does meth. I'm just like, my bad.
Get that chapstick.
Yeah,
going.
I need it. I don't know. Maybe my old lady has it.
Get that Amazon order.
So I'm just looking over. Let me get caught up on chat here. Chronic says Sabonis can kiss my butt. He definitely said butt. What up, WW
he
Fresh?
Kind of salvaged last night a little bit.
Who that?
Sabonis, like he busted, but he
Yeah,
didn't.
I mean, yeah.
He salvaged it at the end.
I think Chronic is a prop better. I think Sabonis did give him that dub.
Oh yeah, 90 does.
Yeah, there's a couple that Middleton over 6.5 was a free play though. We made some money off of that one. What up, bro? What's up, WF Fresh? Appreciate it. Yo, Russ in the house. Russ says Boogie hasn't, quote, lost a step, but he's just playing really disinterested and isn't looking to capitalize on the usage when he's on the court. He started slow, blowout has limited to final rotation. Yeah, that's about right. And the thing is, like, if he wasn't 6K, like if he was 8K or something, I just okay, yeah, I don't have to play him. But like the game theory leverage guy, like with the field down on him, and he's still 6K, and people they're not putting context to it. Yeah, but yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm a Vooch and Embiid guy, but for 100 lineups, I can't have none of 6K Boogie here. Jim Parrish, what up, Jim? Would you pay for pay for Detroit, Jackson, Grant, and Wright in one lineup since Indiana's a back-to-back? Would I play?
Would you full stack? Would you full stack Detroit? Essentially, is what he's asking.
No, I would not. Not in that. No, because we'll talk about it. But I think Dennis Smith Jr. might play today, and that might mess everything up. Damian Boogie Cousins at 4 to win. Let's go, baby. What's up, Damian? Not gonna lie, I thought you was on some white girl. Listen here, buddy. I'm straight edge. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. Yeah, I know. Chat, my lips are dry. It's 30 degrees down here. What do you want me to do? Pacers at the Pistons. Next game on the docket. Project starting 5 for the Pacers. Malcolm Brogdon, Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, Domantas Sabonis, and Miles Turner taking on DeLon Wright, Wayne Ellington, Jeremy Grant, Blake Griffin, Mason Plumlee. We got a 216 total at 3.5 point spread in favor of the visiting Pacers. So goldfish memory, right? You got to have it in DFS. Pacers let us down last night. Do we flop lag them today in a lower total? Defense for the Pistons is not good, so I'm not worried about that. Maybe the slower pace style of play is better for them. I'm going right back to the well. Maybe I feel like that might even be like it's not contrarian, right? I think everyone's like, yeah, we'll go right back to him. Let's hope for the best. Brogdon's still too cheap.
It might be a little contrarian.
You think so? Okay, that's fine.
I feel like Lillard, yeah.
I'm going right back to Brogdon, 7.5. I'm looking for 40-plus fantasy points. I think that's cheap enough to happen against the Pistons. Sabonis at 9.388. I'm looking for 50-plus today at that price. It is a spot where you can get it. And then Miles Turner. Hear me out on Miles Turner, 6,200 on DraftKings. Miles Turner's upside comes from his ability and propensity to get blocks. He's averaging over 3.5 blocks per game this season. If we pull up that team metrics chart in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, the Detroit Pistons are allowing they're tied for the most blocks per game allowed. So this is a block party potentially for Miles Turner to throw, and he's at 6,200 on DraftKings. And I definitely think I think he had like 8 fantasy points yesterday, 8 single digits, 8 against the Nets. So he would be the flop lag play, I think. Yeah, he had 8.75 fantasy points yesterday, Raj. How would you feel if you played a center against the Nets for 8? So I kind of like him here. He has not played Detroit this season. There's a massive penis outside. I don't know if you can hear it. So I think this could be one of those sneaky spots where he comes through with a big block game, maybe even poor man double doubles or something like that. And at 6,200, 30 plus fantasy points put me in the mix again. And Embiid and Vooch are there to kind of get you away from these mid-tier to low price centers. But I like the spot for him. TJ McConnell's been on one. 5K, I need that 30. I don't know if I'm getting much more meat on the bone. On the Pistons side, I talked about it earlier. I even think I had 12 guys, and I only wrote down 11. But I think there's going to be one of the most spread out rotations in basketball today on the Pistons, unless they tighten it up. They did trade Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith Jr. I think there's a chance he could play, maybe.
I think so. I mean, he might be elite value play today. 3,500 stone minimum on DK. I mean, if you give him, I don't know if you're projecting to give him 15
I don't know
minutes.
how many minutes. Like, I don't know if I give him Derrick Rose's minutes or do we baby step him 10, 15. You know what I'm saying? The minutes projections for the Pistons are really tough, and they still got guys like Steve McCall. You're like, they have a lot of so this Pistons lineup is going to be hard for me to predict pre-flop. I still think Jeremy Grant's going to be your leading minute guy. He seems like the person they're building around is going to likely win MIP. But past that, like Mason Plumlee, I guess the 6,100, we could fire him right back at the Miles Turner. He's got some deep minutes and some big games lately, and he doesn't garner ownership at that price. The Pacers, I think I had the Pacers one of the worst rebounding teams. Let's see, rebounds.
So surprising.
Pacers, well, to opposing centers, Pacers allow the second most rebounds. So I think about Plumlee on DraftKings at 6,100 is very intriguing. On FanDuel at 7K, you kind of get priced away from him, but the minutes have been there for Plumlee. I think he could be a kind of a sharper stab in the dark, because I think the oversaturation on minutes is going to be your forwards and guards. It's not like they're stacked on center. So I think at 6,100, I'd probably put Plumlee in the mix to see what happens. And same with Turner. What are you doing with this game? Are we? I feel like I'm waiting and seeing on the guards for the Pistons, because I've been playing DeLon Wright as well. But I don't know what their intentions are. Does Josh Jackson take a hit? Does Dennis Smith Jr. get the Derrick Rose role? Like I don't know. I want to see that flourish a little bit more. Do we have some Grant? Like 7-4, is Grant getting phased out of our when we actually start building lineups with some of the guys we do like? This 7-4 price range just get phased out? I think it's possible.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think, waiting on some Orlando news, see how the slate breaks down. But give me Brogdon, 7-2, FanDuel, a ton of upside there. It hasn't been getting it done lately. You know, has had 1, 2, 3, 4, I want to say 5 kind of letdown games in a row. That fifth one was kind of whatever, but yeah, 5 kind of letdown games hasn't smashed for you. So I do think his downturn has a little bit of Jeremy Lamb's return. Definitely taking some of the shot volume away from him, maybe a little bit of usage. But give me some Brogdon upside his price. Sabonis is still Sabonis. And the price is up there, but it's Detroit. Should dominate. I expect Indiana to, have a little respect, but play with a little extra energy today after yesterday's debacle. So give me Sabonis. Detroit side, you mentioned Jeremy Grant. Price tag's tough, 8-2. I mean, if you play him, that means you might not be able to play a Lillard or, a Cantor, an Embiid. So it's definitely tough, but I think a tournament is a good play if you think this game shoots out a little bit. DeLon Wright's been getting it done. His price is up, but it's tough. But, I mean, the Lakers game went to overtime, okay. Played 37 minutes against Brooklyn. DSJ is there. Even if he gets 35 or, 32, I think he can still get there for you. He's going to smash. Don't know about that, but I think you got to keep him in the pool with the way he's playing.
Yeah. DeLon Wright, So I can look at DeLon Wright and come up with reasons. The last game, the reason I loved him is because the matchup and no Derrick Rose. Like, I thought he would benefit the most without Derrick Rose in the mix. But even now, if we put
What's Indiana against point guards?
In terms of DVP,
are they top 10? I mean, Bogdan's an elite defender.
Indiana. Yeah, top 10.
Okay. Maybe you don't have to play DeLon Wright.
I think I want to wait and see there. I'm hoping they don't just explode here. Look at the live chat. Russ says, I doubt first game back Dennis Smith Jr. will play more than 15 minutes. I also wonder your thoughts on Mason Plumlee's minutes as of late. Are the 35 plus because Rose being traded or an outlier? So I think there's only a couple games for the Rose correlation. And I don't think that is a correlation here. I do think Jahlil Okafor being out has been a boost for him. And I don't know that Isaiah Stewart's somebody they trust quite a bit. And then there's been a stretch where like Blake Griffin's not playing high minutes or even playing every game. Okafor hasn't played since the 30th, and he was getting maybe 9-10 minutes a game. So if we look at the 30th from now, since then, 28, 24. There was I think this Lakers game is double OT, and then the Brooklyn Nets game, he just went deep and he was on fire. So I would assume it's just because of Okafor, but I don't even know. Like, I still don't project him for high minutes. I've just been sitting at 30, 31, and he's always been a per-minute monster. Denver, Portland, and he just can shine a little bit more here. Toscano, Holiday, or House. So, yikes.
None?
Probably Toscano, but that's not a snap call or anything. Ryan says Pistons beat the Nets by 11 last game with a tighter rotation. Gotta imagine they stick with that successful formula. I think isn't it the Pistons that are like the worst record, but they like beat the Lakers, the Celtics, the Nets. Like they got some weird wins.
They play up to guys,
or the other teams played down to them. I don't know.
That too.
With Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Stewart leading the bench, McCallick was the DNP. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just have so many players that could like be interrupting and stuff. I don't know. What's up, Pete? Must nail the 6K center tonight. I played Turner's 8 last night. Mike Levine, Kawhi line. Turner block party signed me up. I think it could happen. What's up, Lorenzo? How we doing? 80 people. Yo, again, I said it earlier. I appreciate the 80 people. There's a lot of big DFS channels on right now. So for you guys to be hanging out with me actually means something. You guys are the real ones. So I love the other channels too. But, it's just cool you guys are choosing us, and I do appreciate that. Let's move on to the next game. Orlando Magic at the Golden State Warriors. Project starting 5 for the Magic. Cole Anthony, Evan Fournier, James Ennis, Gary Clark, and Nikola Vucevic taking on Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, Juan Toscano, Anderson, and Draymond Green. We got a 223 total, an 8-point spread in favor of the home team Golden State Warriors. Raj, what are you doing? What am I hearing?
They're doing nothing. What are you hearing?
I just was like your mic's rubbing against.
Oh, rubbing against my sweater. Yeah, probably.
Okay. Stop that. Anyway, on the Magic side, keep an eye on the Evan Fournier news. If he plays, I think I just leaked. Fudge, chat. Y'all don't. Oh shoot.
I might watch the video. Did you bleed?
No. Like I just got an email and it alerted me.
Oh,
it's all right. All right, chat. Ignore that. I'll explain that in a little bit. Probably tomorrow. Well, I don't know. I might be able to announce it here in a minute. Everyone just stopped the stream to rewind. What was I doing? Let's go pull up the Orlando Magic. God, that can't happen. Let me pull up the Orlando Magic injury report. Cole Anthony, right shoulder strain, officially listed as questionable for this game. It's pretty much a non-update. An MRI came back clean, and Anthony's considered. I love how I covered my screen. I lifted my hand like as if covering me seeing it. God dang it, I'm an idiot. The Magic may proceed with caution, so keep a close eye. So Cole Anthony has a shot at not playing today, and that would boost Frank Mason. Michael Carter-Williams is being listed as questionable after being out forever. He's got a sprained left foot. He was originally listed as out. He has not appeared in the game since January 4th. So even if he's cleared to play, it's likely that the veteran guard will be under a minutes restriction of some sort. And then Evan Fournier has a Q tag on him. He's questionable, and he has missed 2 straight games with a back injury. This is going to be his second stint on the sidelines due to back spasms. Terrence Ross could be a must-start player if Fournier and Cole Anthony are out. So with the questionableness on the Magic side, and this game being 10 p.m., I think we may not have information in time by lock 7:30. So you might have to take some guesses and some stands. So I think it's worth playing an exercise here and play the if this guy is in, this guy's out, what do we do situation, and set yourself up, if you guys are mass entry guys, for pivots and swaps at these price points. First of all, Raj, if the Magic are without Cole Anthony and Evan Fournier, the Magic are sink and swim on Terrence Ross and Vucevic. And even then, I don't know if they have enough firepower to keep up with the Warriors. All the projection systems, all the usage rates, all that stuff is going to be touching Mars on Vucevic if Anthony and Fournier was out. But at that point, at that price, are we thinking trap against the Warriors, who have just been really, really good, and they're at home?
I'm thinking trap. I think Cole Anthony sits. He got injured yesterday. So guy, off of one night, he's going to feel better. I doubt it. So I'm thinking he sits. Fournier's been out a couple games. I think he might force himself to play a little bit because they're really shorthanded. So I think I'll probably make lineups with Fournier and Vooch together, like that combo. Frank Mason probably comes in elite value play, 4,200. See the minutes at starting point guard. Terrence Ross, again, missing some guys who can chuck. Give me some him. I think you can full stack this team against Golden State. I think Golden State, the way they've been playing, they're going to score. I think it'll be a game if those guys all play for Orlando. Give me Vooch, give me Fournier, give me Frank Mason, give me Ross. And Golden State side, I think if you want to just full-on game stack this, bring it back with some Steph Curry, and even Draymond. That price tag is getting up there, but he's floating with triple doubles. That price tag is really tough. He really needs like a 40-50. So probably not a ton of Draymond, but give me some Steph Curry.
Even if you think it blows out, do you play Steph Curry at 10-5, 10-1? Or is it blowing out because he dropped 50 in 3/4?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm playing him regardless. I'll probably, if those Orlando guys are ruled out, I would just pivot to more Lillard. But if Orlando plays, I might have the same amount of Lillard.
Now, so we say that, but let's be honest, we're not going to know at 7:30. So
yeah, but I mean, you can pivot from Steph's at 10 and Lillard's at 10 too, right? So you could just
that's fair. We could. On both sides, it looks like it would be a clean swap to Lillard from Steph. Yeah, but even then, like, I don't know if I'd be out on Steph just yet. I do think in a blowout he might still have some validity.
They're both in play.
If we had no Cole, even it's in my nose because of cat fur, and I've been biting my lip because it's cold. There's got to be somebody out there that thinks I'm just like a tweaking weirdo right now. If Cole and Fournier's out, the heart wants what the heart wants. Are we gonna have some T. Ross Vucevic versus Curry combos out there and hope for the best? Like, I don't trust, and maybe Frank Mason 4-2 on FanDuel 4K.
The auto play if those both of them are out. If Cole Anthony and Fournier out, I think Mason's auto play.
Chat, what's your read, chat? Give me your gut reactions. What are you doing here? Because I kind of feel like I'm playing right now. If I'm making lineups, I feel like I'm anticipating no Cole, no Fournier.
You think no Fournier too?
Yo, the back spasms crap that he had earlier this season, I swear he missed like 6-7 games. Let me pull that up. And I remember making the joke like, man, these are some hellacious back spasms. So he went from December 31st to January 20th without a game, and then the back spasms are back, and he hasn't played since the 5th. So these are some my man. I don't know if he ain't got some yoga in or what, but those are heck back spasms.
I mean, yeah, I think Ross keeps it, and probably, I mean, guy like Dwayne Bacon, I think can score for you a little bit, hit some threes. James Ennis, Ennis had the big game last game. Ennis had the big game last game. Yeah, you just use full stack Orlando. It's Golden State. It's not like they're a good team. So
Vooch,
I wanted to.
What? No, they're a great team. What? Golden State has been much better than publicly perceived because of last year.
Better lately.
Draymond has stepped up. Like, he has stepped up to be old Draymond. Steph is on one. Yeah, and they're at home. So I don't know if I like the Magic's chances here. And like I said, if it is competitive, it's going to be on Vooch. And one thing I got to wonder about Vooch here, chat, like this, the Magic are a slow-paced team, and that's, Vooch he's a big. Magic run a bottom 10 pace in basketball, and Golden State's the second fastest team in basketball. I mean, the track meet might catch up to them third quarter, middle of the third quarter. So I don't know if 9-8, 9-4 on Vooch is something that I'm loving him as a play here. So I don't know. I might get really, really cute at center today. We'll see.
It's like 1v1 him versus Embiid.
I think it's Embiid's snap call, like not even close. Embiid versus Canner. I'll play that all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Embiid versus Lillard, such a positive correlation in our lineups. I'm with it. Let me get caught up on chat. Chat, I definitely want to see where you guys are at. Esco says Dennis Smith. I'm probably tiptoeing around Dennis Smith. John Johnson says locking in Mason. In on Mason. Yeah, Frank Mason seems like no matter what, I could play him here. Giuliano says this day looks like a Stars and Scrubs winning lineup. Rather go James Ennis if he's not playing. Russ is gone. I think you can put faith behind that gut call and the fact that earlier today news broke that they were trying to rush MCW back. He was still a few weeks out. Rushing him back suggests out. Yeah, and even if MCW came back, MCW is not really an offensive juggernaut. And probably doesn't play deep minutes, so I don't know. Ross, Mason, and Vooch. I think that's how the Magic score if those guys are out. Poor Magic, man. They're just losing guards all year. Dropping. Vooch with the bona fide. All right, chat. So I guess it kind of leaked, and I'm reading this email. I got to send the contract back, but it looks like everything's good. So should I drop it? Let's drop it. All right, chat. Give me a minute. All right, there's a site out there. It's called PrizePicks.com. A lot of you guys may have heard of it, but I have partnered with them. Did a conference with them the other day. I don't know if that link will work. But we've come up with a deal for you guys. Copy link address. Why is it welcome? Well, I'm trying to copy this link. Let me put it in a notepad and see what it's up. There we go. So anyway, before lock in the RunDFS.com voice chat, a lot of times we're out here hunting prop bets and stuff like that, and a lot of you guys don't have access to the sports books like DK Sportsbooks, FanDuel, stuff like that. And parlays, people love their parlays. So PrizePicks is actually a site that kind of meets you in the middle, and you don't have to be in one of the few states that allow sportsbooks to play. You can play in a lot of states. They are operating in Arkansas, Alaska, I don't know, California, Kentucky. I'd be shocked if you're playing on DraftKings right now. You could probably play PrizePicks. So come check them out. I'm gonna have some more fancy stuff on this channel on how to play their site. But if you sign up with that link or use code GUNDACKER, you'll get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. That's not slow drip. So if you sign up right there with that code GUNDACKER and you drop $100, they're gonna match that with another $100. And then it's pretty self-explanatory for the NBA picks. You can create parlay cards. For instance, if I thought Jimmy Butler, who's been scoring 40 plus every game, if I thought he was going to score over 43 fantasy points, their scoring is the same as FanDuel, by the way. I would click that. It would add it to a card. And basically, I want to find 2 to 5 player props that I like to gamble on. And once I do that, I can click over here, and then on these cards, I can choose over under. Now, these lines do move throughout the day, so the earlier you get there, the better. And you can gamble their fantasy points, which is based on FanDuel, like I said, or you can go single stats and gamble on their points, their assists, and their rebounds. And if you think a guy's like Jimmy Butler's at 7 rebounds, well, if Houston's been a top defensive efficiency, can I put Jimmy Butler under 7 rebounds? I can't put two guys on or the same guy on the card twice, but I can go and choose the under on Jimmy Butler, stuff like that. You guys understand. I'll explain a little bit more in future videos. But since that news did just kind of drop, if you guys want to add another site to your repertoire, I've alluded to it earlier this week. If these big slates are killing you and you're missing out on the no-name 4-string center that breaks the slate, your research can still be rewarded. And I think player props is a great way to do that. And then because of the parlay style, you could still take advantage of, 4 or 5x in your money. And they have a cool way to reward or for you to choose your risk. They have a flex play, which allows you to still get paid if you miss one pick. Of course, the ROI is a little bit softer. And then they have the power play where you need every pick to happen, but your payout is better. I think you can get you can get up to 5, and then your payout on 5 correct picks on a flex would be 10x. And then if you just choose 4, you can get 10 extra 4. So it's a fun little site. Links in chat. Code Gundecker. $100 match. Up to $100 on your deposit. So check it out. I've been playing it last couple days. We've been talking about it in Discord, pre-lock voice chat. We talk about the lines. And I think the... Raj, what's up with the noise? I think their lines adjust a little bit slower than the sports books do, so even more of an edge there. Fun little site though. Check them out. Jim says Vooch, Sabonis, Wall have 4,900 left for DraftKings picks. Yeah. So if already on, you don't get nothing. Yeah, I mean, if you're already a Price Picks player, it is what it is. But if not, try it out, sign up. But we'll probably start doing a little Price Pick feature on some of these streams coming up. And then I might start pumping out like morning prop pick videos, maybe, if the lines drop early enough. I think I have to build my schedule around that. Anyway, we got one game left on the docket. If you guys want to hang out with me after the party, it's the after party. And after the party, it's the Discord lobby. We'll be in the NBA VIP voice chat in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. If you guys want up-to-the-minute news from Twitter based on today's slate, while discussing the slate with like-minded grinders, and also pictures of my cat. My girlfriend likes to put pictures of our cat in Tech Jake. Check it out. Go to RunDFS.com. Make yourself an account. Get signed up, and you'll instantly have access to RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet, the VIP Discord, and you can listen into the voice chat. You can grab a mic, talk with us. It's a fun time. And I will also be listing my personal player pool on each site, my tier 1s, 2s, 3s. You guys can cross-reference my notes with your notes, and we all just kind of grind with the same end goal in mind. It's a little bit more informal. We're hanging out, we're vibing, we're yelling at Raj. Usually it's a lot of group hate on Raj, right? Yeah.
It's going to hate, man. It's going to hate.
But you guys, that's a cool way to support the stream.
It's not easy being the coolest guy in the room in a lot of rooms. It's not. You tend to get a lot of hate, but it sounds good.
I mean, I seem to make it work. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think in any other world. You guys really think guns cool? A bunch of DFS losers are the only ones that think guns cool. Come on now.
Main event tonight. Philadelphia 76ers at the Portland Trail Blazers. Project starting 5 for the Sixers. Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid taking on Damian Lillard, Gary Trent, Derek Jones Jr., Robert Covington, and they hate us because they ain't us. Cantor, 229.5 total, 5.5 point spread. If we had the Magic news and both these games at 10 p.m., I feel like I can make my lineup based on these two games.
Oh, yeah. It could be a 3-game slate, like the last 3 games, like the first 2, Toronto, Boston, and Miami, Houston. You could just ignore those if you really wanted to.
Yeah, logistically, yeah. So Portland, without everyone still, it's just the Damian Lillard show. If this game's going to stay competitive, it's going to be on the back of Dame Dollar. Making money ain't new to him. One of the approaches I like here to be a little bit backwards, like my knee-jerk reaction to every slate is to stack centers, and I think obviously we can go Embiid, Vooch, whatever. But what about if we went like a pair of 6K guys, like a Mason Plumlee and a Boucher, maybe even a Miles Turner, till we talked about that block matchup, and then we got the Dames, we got the Steph Curry, stuff like that. I think that might be a fun spin.
You are speaking a lot of DraftKings language right now.
I am. On the Sixer side, Joel Embiid is almost 11K on both sides. I'm looking for 60-plus fantasy points, typically at that price point. It is a matchup that he should thrive in. Him versus Kanter's always been a fun a 1v1 for me over the years. I'll say it every time they face off. Enes Kanter won me $15,000 on a Christmas a few years back, dropping a 2020 on Joel Embiid. But Embiid since got his revenge and his usage and his production, and he... And LeBron James seem to have this public MVP race going on. So the softer the matchup, the more I kind of like Embiid to show up and show out. Joel Embiid, DKP by game log versus Enes Kanter. Let's go last 10 games. Last time out, I think it was a couple weeks ago, he dropped 46, 52, 52, 53, 50, and then there's a 67. So he's been in the 50 or less range. And I think... You take 50 fantasy points where you can get it. Raw points is raw points. But could we make up some points if we just said, hey, he's 11K, he has to get 50, and build elsewhere. And that's why my brain's kind of going that way on DraftKings. But no matter what, I love the spot for him. I think 50-plus fantasy points is probably a solid projection at a floor. I had Seth Curry. I thought Seth Curry was doubtful last night, but I guess that changed.
Yeah, now he's playing. He's probable.
Okay, that's weird. And Shake Milton is doubtful. So maybe a few extra minutes there for Curry, for Simmons, and maybe Tyrese Maxey. But I don't know if I get that creative this early on. On the Blazer side, though, give me Dame Dollar. And then Gary Trent has a chip in a chair, man. He's going to be second on the team likely in shot attempts. And... I mean, I can see it, right? He's not a household name just yet, but he's been kind of picking up some of that scoring responsibility. They did get Derrick Jones back in the mix, but he's not somebody that really assumes a lot of responsibility or usage. Rocco, same song and dance on him. So Kanter, Lillard, Trent, the front end guys that I'm interested in on the Blazers. And then Joel Embiid's easily my number one on the Sixers. Is Ben Simmons going to get completely lost today?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely getting lost. You have Curry, Lillard, and Brogdon, and you have the Frank Mason value, who I think will be the key guys. So Ben Simmons is definitely kind of determined play of the day. Going to be tough to get to, but it's upside there against this Portland team. I don't see Lillard kind of slowing him down. Could be a triple-double spot. So if you're running like 20 lines, I can understand you not getting to him. 50, 100, get to Ben Simmons. Play Embiid, play Lillard, play Kanter. Lillard Kanter combo I really like. It's a bit tougher on FanDuel because you do have to give up that center spot, but points per dollar, I think I like Kanter more than Embiid and Vooch. That's $6,500 price tag. Yeah, I mean, those guys are 10-8. He's 9-8. Kanter's produced against Embiid. At 6,500, you could play him and then get yourself a Jimmy and a Grant, or a Jimmy and another stud or Sabonis with Lillard. So I do like Kanter at that price tag. And at FanDuel, I think he goes a little underowned because everyone's going to click on Embiid or Vooch. I think he's an elite FanDuel play.
Yeah, a FanDuel 65. He is lurking. Let's flip this here. We looked up Enes Kanter DKP by game log versus Joel Embiid last. Let's go last 10 games. But I also feel like there might be some misconstrued here. He had 41 versus Embiid on February 4th, 34 minutes. And then there's a lot of not starting minutes, like 16, 14. And then, like I said, I had okay, Kanter. All right. I could buy into that.
You give me 30 minutes of Kanter.
I mean, the cajones of playing Kanter over Boogie on FanDuel, man. But I don't disagree. I think that could pay off here. So
it lets you get another piece, and that's a big thing.
Let's see what you guys got in chat before we get on out of here. It's almost time to go home. Good to see you partying, man. I appreciate that, Kate Johnson. I'm glad. So I will say this, chat. Honestly, humbly, if you guys knew how many sites I've turned down, like I don't want to expose sites, but my Twitter DMs, in the last probably year and a half, there's 3 sites that have reached out to me, offered me a decent chunk of change to be partnered with them, and I go to I download their app, or they give me some house money to play with, and I test it out, and I'm just like, I'll be honest, I don't play this. I can't see myself pushing it. I don't want to push stuff that I won't use. I don't want to be that guy. I played on Prize Picks for about a week, and then after a week, I was like, you know what? Because their referral thing was, I just had random numbers. I was like, let me email them, see if there's if I can get like a referral link with my name. I wasn't even trying to partner, and they reached out to me. They were very professional. We had a Zoom meeting, and they made me a really nice deal. So like, it definitely benefits me if you guys sign up with the code, but you guys are getting up to $100 instantly matched. So it's just a great partnership, and it's a site that I play on and I like. So I like I said, I've turned down sites that I don't like, but I like their product. And I think a lot of people, on Twitter and in our Discord have been enjoying their product as well. So I wouldn't push something I don't believe in, especially DFS sites. There's been, even years back, I mean, there were sites I just did not think were going to last, and they didn't, and I just didn't want my name attached to it. But I like what Prize Picks is doing, and they were really nice to me. Russ says it's going to be on the back of Gary Trent Jr. Kid chucks, and he doesn't care about lower. Yeah, Gary Trent do be chucking dough.
You like Gary Trent?
He's been somebody we've been taking advantage of in like player props as well, for points and shot volume. 18, 20, 23 shot attempts last 3 games. Minutes are there for him. The efficiency, not always fantastic, but he's chucking from behind the arc, 9, 11, 9. I think one of the props that we can often get on the sportsbook is 2.5 threes, and he's been nailing that for the most part. So I can go back to the well on maybe attacking Gary for some of those individual player prop bets, something like that. K. John says, okay, Raj, I was with you until you said triple-double. I don't know who he's talking about. For Ben?
Ben Simmons triple-double.
Ben could always baby triple-double. I mean, look at him.
Yeah.
He's almost averaging a triple-double. So I don't think that's the craziest thing. Raj said some dumb stuff. I don't think that's crazy. Get the bag, my boy. I appreciate it. It's quality content, right? I'm more worried about the talent, the quality in the community. And I'm not pushing stuff I don't use. So, that's it, chat. What are we doing? Any lasting questions, comments, concerns? I got about 12 minutes before I gotta get it into the RunDFS.com VIP voice chat. If you guys are out of here to go check out some of the other streams that are live, help me out. Hit that thumbs up on your way out the door. And if you aren't subscribed, maybe double check to see that you are subscribed. It'll help out the channel. We haven't had a burst in subscribers lately, so it really makes me think I need to start putting out some morning content. But man, we were sitting about 80 viewers for the most part of the stream. There are some all the biggest DFS channels are live in the last hour. So the 80 of you guys that hung out with me, it definitely means a lot. You guys are the real ones. But yeah, any lasting questions, comments, concerns before we get out of here? James says, hit a lick off of Trent Jr. to score 15 points and Portland win. Ooh, as a parlay, Portland win. I don't think that's insane just because the Sixers on the road and this far on the road. I could see them playing a little bit down. Dame Dollar protecting the house here. They did take it to the Sixers with their bum squad. So I don't think that's crazy. And I don't know what the double leg parlay there pays out, but that's interesting. Kemba or DeLon Wright. I'm probably leaning Kemba, but that's a coin flip. DeLon Wright, if you told me Kemba and DeLon Wright had the exact same minutes, I want to say DeLon Wright. I'm just so unsure of the Pistons' minute rotation with their guards. But if you think they get the same minutes, my personal kind of trend would be towards DeLon Wright. They hate us because they ain't us Cantor night. I love Cantor. Kay Johnson said, what do you think of Nasir Little's impact on Trent's playing time if he comes back tonight? I don't think it would impact Trent. I think it might be in the mix there on Derek Jones. I don't think Little's like a big minute guy anyway. I think he just benefited in some spots. I think he had that fake game against like Milwaukee. I wouldn't expect him to be more than a 15, 20-minute guy in the worst case scenario. I think Trent is he's their scoring guard, so they need him. He's not McCollum, but he'll get the benefit. He'll get the bulk of the McCollum minutes. Little, I think, is going to the back of the bench and playing behind Danny Green, Derek Jones, guys like that. What up, Chris? Fade Orlando and play only Draymond. Man, we didn't really discuss Draymond. Draymond's price is up there, and his minutes have been up there to help him out. At 7K, I need 40 plus to feel like I got a great deal. He did get 36, 37 minutes in those games against Dallas and San Antonio. Those were competitive games. And then that other San Antonio game that blew him out. Also, Eric Pascal was back. I don't have the warm fuzzies on Draymond, but I think if you believe that game to stay close and competitive, then I think you can stretch Draymond Green's minutes projection out a little bit more. But there was an anomalic 7 steals against Dallas in that game that scored 260 plus real points. I don't think this game will. And then the big minutes on a double-double in that San Antonio game. I think at near 7K, I'm probably taking a step backwards because I kind of had that game being lopsided. And with Eric Pascal there, I don't know if I'm juicing Draymond that high to, like, even if he got 40 and I missed out on it, I don't feel like I'm missing out on a great play. So I'm probably down on that. Quant says Boogie or Mason Plumlee. Ooh, that's a fantastic one. So I think Plumlee has easily the better matchup. Bam Adebayo has been a pretty elite defender, one-on-one individual defender. So if we're just playing matchups and production, probably Mason Plumlee is the right mathematical answer, right? If we just put X and Y, right, on a piece of paper and we compared matchup and production and game today, I think we go Mason Plumlee without knowing the name. So maybe Mason Plumlee is the right answer there. Kelly Olynyk, I don't really have any Olynyk. Is Cole Anthony a go? He is not. He's highly questionable. So is Evan Fournier. So there's a good chance they both miss here on that deep road game.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think Cole Anthony for sure misses.
Yeah. Thoughts on Duncan Robinson? Hear me out. He's been better on the road, low ownership, plays big minutes, overdue for a big game. So Duncan Robinson's big game is going to come on him scoring 25, 30 real points.
Yeah, if
right?
he got to shoot like 8 threes,
yeah,
that can happen any game. It's just not a guy I click on with confidence. But if you fall into him and you think he's going to have a big game, sure. But I don't think it's you can never predict a big game from him.
Yeah. Mopar says, "What's up, Gun? Sorry I'm late. Had to take Mom to the grocery store. I got 400 on the Celtics tonight to win 320 on Bovada. You think the Celtics going to win? Well, they are catching a Raps on a back-to-back, and they are home.
It's a coin flip.
It is a coin flip. I think they could. I think that's a coin flip no matter what, but they do have enough going their way. $100 deposit match instantly using that link. So chat, reminder, if you use that Prize Picks link, they'll match you instantly up to $100 using code GUNDACKER. And if you want some picks and plays, man, we'll be in the Discord. We'll talk our favorite prop bets. And then, of course, I actually have a tab in the spreadsheet already, the player props tab, based on fantasy points for my projections for Prize Picks. And then we have the points, rebounds, assists for books and stuff like that. That's gonna be it. Would you play Embiid and Vooch in one lineup? Absolutely. I think a lot of people start with Embiid and Vooch.
Yeah, on DK, that's definitely the way to go.
I think you could definitely do that, Jim. I have my reservations on both guys specifically.
The problem is too, you play those two together. I think everyone plays Frank Mason and like James Ennis
right
with him. Yeah, so you start building lineups just like everyone else.
Anyway, chat, twitter.com/Gundacker if you want to reach out to me. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think, is going to be a 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central stream. Big Friday nights are usually eventful. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 games of basketball tomorrow. Should be a wild one. Knicks, Wizards.
All your plays go off and you still lose.
I think we already had some news about tomorrow. Was it Beal or someone out?
Bradley Beal said it.
Yeah. So Ross against the Knicks. I also saw Knicks attached to a Bradley Beal and Victor Oladipo rumors. T-Wolves at the Hornets. That'll be fun. Cats back in the mix. I'm definitely going to have a high level of interest in him against the Hornets. Spurs, Hawks, Pelicans, Mavericks, Clippers, Bulls, Pistons, Celtics, Bucks, Jazz, Thunder, Nuggets, Cavs, Trailblazers, Magic, Kings, and Grizzlies, Lakers. Going to be a giant slate.
Bucks Jazz is fun with no Holiday or Conley.
Yeah. So we'll be live at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. We'll kick it. We'll relax. We'll have some fun. And these big slates can be overwhelming, and that is a great opportunity to kind of isolate slate size for turbos, but also maybe focus on some picks, some player props, stuff like that. So, yeah.
I think I'm going to do single entries tomorrow and 3-entry maxes. Be a little responsible.
Being responsible.
Correct.
Shadow Stefan, yo man, I am late. What do you think about Adebayo, 33.5 PRA? I'll tell you what I have. Control F, Adebayo. I have him at 36.4. So, yeah, I got 3 points of swing there. I'll adjust my projections here in a little bit, but early on, I don't think you're crazy to take that. Yeah, hit that thumbs up on the way out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys. I hope you guys crush it tonight. And 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central tomorrow. Good luck. God bless.